Never. Do it for tuning in. Having some technical difficulties with the internet, so just give me 1 minute to see. I'm going to be risky and switch my Wi-Fi connection. All right, I'm gonna get started. Internet situation. So yeah. Okay. Today's and we're having some internet challenges right now. Maybe today's presentation is for Unity. And it's a particular serve Linus. And I'm struggling with the Wi-Fi for the broadcast. Okay, we're back on. All right. So, as I mentioned before, we are following the Nigerian calendar days put out by the Temple of Amun. And it has the holy days, it has the lunar calendar, it has the galactic calendar because it has the eclipses. I mean, equinoxes. And today is the day we honor brings back Sekhmet as lioness. And I've seen other Egyptian calendars of holy days, and some of them are a little different, but pretty much all aligned. And if you'd like to get your own calendar, you can go to blowbymoon.com. Here at Osmosis Temple, we also follow the calendar put out by the Earth Center, which follows the traditional Egyptian 10-day strengths. I don't like to say weeks. I say strengths when I remember. Oh, look, and this calendar says the month is for the goddess Heteru. And it has the 12 months of this week, today 3-week months. And then the last month is goddess Nut giving birth to the Neters. In the Nigerian calendar, the birth of the Neters is in July with the rise of Sirius. This calendar occurs in September, which Sept is also another name for Sirius. So I follow both of them. And you can get that calendar at earthcenter.com. My name is Arvit Chianet, and these presentations are brought to you from the Light Being Wellness Center and the Osmosis Temple of Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds. So let's begin with our opening prayers. I have a little altar here set up with I have this little duty that I got at Amelia. And Heteru. And Sekhmet. And Sekhmet and Heteru were both purchased outside of the temple of Heteru and Kinjena. This drum, which has the image of goddess Heteru on both sides of the handle, and we learned that represents Aset and Het. And then I have a little incense burner, so we can get a better view with Aset. We'll talk about her a little bit. So if you'd like to follow along with the program, I have a page. If you follow along with the notes on the g.com/shooty -wings -segment. Okay. Hi. The internet was working fine until it's time to begin this broadcast. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, these are not sunglasses. These are pinhole glasses they have holes in them that force your eyes to focus instead of magnetizing what you're looking at. So they're actually strengthening your vision or making them stronger rather than weakening them. So I wear them, especially when I'm using a computer or reading anything. So the first one is the offering prayer for the altar. I'll read the translation first from the prayer manual. Oh. Oh, it's the wrong one. Okay, here we go. This is Tanya Prayer Manual. YouTube, I apologize for the let's say wonky Wi-Fi connection today. I'm about to read the translation for the opening prayer. Offering is given to the Supreme Divinity and to honor the repair of the traveler and what open up the ways of the sacred land. The spoken offering is 1,000 be complete maleness and 1,000 is complete femaleness. This causes to make one true of speech. In other words, an being. And remember, we talked about how when we make the offering of the complete maleness and complete femaleness, the beef is offering our lower nature, our attachments, our desires, and the offering of the beast, the femaleness, is our mindset, our multitasking flightiness. We're offering those up to the divine. Motetina Sunatra, Anpu Webwatch Nata, just separate my carpet, Senator Audi Marketu, Motetina Sunatra, Anpu Webwatch Nata, just separate my carpet, Senator Audi Marketu, Motetina Sunatra, Anpu Webwatch Nata, just separate my carpet. Sinatra Makaru, Otabdina Sunatra, Antu Watnam Tata Sapekaru, Kakabe, Sinatra Makaru. Offerings on the ways. Going to be chat. Let me see if it will allow me to share my screen. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. I will open up. Please introduce this song is a musical rendition of the Prelude, also found in the Spirit Manual. And it is doesn't say where it's from. It's just taken from sacred teaching. I believe it's from the Maroon. Just say. Oh, I could open the way. Oh, I could open the way to my success in my spiritual practice. Oh, I could open the ways. Oh, I could open the ways. So your pathways. No different way to learn real. Oh, I could open the ways. Oh, I could open the ways. Measuring heaven and hell. Ways by like golden as a day. If you want to buy eyes by day. Oh, I could open the ways. Oh, I could open the ways. Hey, I'm gonna make eyes burn so that I stand on them. Oh, I could open the ways. Oh, I could open the ways. I watch myself in the water. Where I wash themselves. Where he was the officer. I'm on the adventure. How I flew over the waves. How I flew over the waves. My lips are the lips of my poo. 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 Oh dear. Now we're going to have the portraits of Thatcher. Also, the devotional prayer manual. I'm going to read the translations. The nature of the supreme being is one and alone, and is nature manifested everywhere in all things in form of process. That is the personality, and each leads to ignorance of the divine. Devotion to the divine leads to freedom from the fetish of sin. The practice of understanding disciplines leads to knowing oneself as divine. This is called the Jewish. Say what you say, what food inside you say. Say what you say, what food inside you say. I share your God in my all the dirt, what would share that I do? I know I sweet, so you said, say what you say, what food inside you say. I share your God in my all the dirt, what would share that I do? I know I sweet, say what you say, not food inside you say. Share your God in my Now we're going to have a outlet through for offering in times like these when we're short on time. We still want to make offerings or read from the prayer room, make offerings to Nasher, Carol, and Sar. And I have one chant that can block them all. Never came forth as our shepherd, who's the crazy gods and goddesses, and then came forth and came as Sar, representing universal. Oh, never talking about sorrow. 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 Oh, Nebuchadnezzar, capital sorrow. Nebuchadnezzar, capital sorrow. Nebuchadnezzar, sorrow. Asar Nebuchadnezzar, Kepta, Asar Nebuchadnezzar is the all-encompassing divinity. I'll read the gloss. Nebuchadnezzar means all-encompassing divinity, all-inclusive, all-embracing spirit, which pervades all, and who is the ultimate essence of all. This first truth unifies all the expressions of humanity. And Nebuchadnezzar came forth in the form of the god Khafra, who is the creator of the gods and goddesses, the creator of the creation. Ra is the creation. And then Nebuchadnezzar came forth in the form of a star in the human form as the universal soul. And then Om, most people associate with India, actually is a Kemetic term in the Meta for the name of the divinity that we don't know. So it's in honor of these three deities, and we offer adorations to Asar and before reading on the Persian root. So just honoring or acknowledging or invoking these cosmic forces of nature, Nebuchadnezzar, the divinity of the essence of all. Aphrodite is the creator of the cosmic forces of nature, and Asar represents the universal soul. And it's one of the opening prayers. I hope that helps. You'll learn more as we go through. I'm chanting in the language of Kemet Medu, which means the sacred word of the divine word. And you can follow along with at chat.com/brings-back-tefnut-segment. And I don't have a way to share that with you. So I apologize. I'm working on it. I'm asking them to get me the screen share capability. All right, so now I'm going to move on to some chants for Jehuti and Heteru, and then we will dive into teachings today. If you're just tuning in, today is the Nigerian Holy Day when we honor the moment or the time or the situation when Jehuti brings back Sekhmet. And Sekhmet is the goddess that Ra sent Heteru to earth when the humans had forgotten their divinity, forgotten Ra, and everything's happening. And she enjoyed the job so much that she started to eliminate the righteous as well as the unrighteous. And Sekhmet represents the life force energy. And Jehuti is the cosmic mind or divine intellect. And so Jehuti was sent to earth in the form of a baboon to wake up Sekhmet and bring her back to her divinity. And this happens to us as well when in moments of stress or confusion or adversity, we momentarily, not everyone, some people are masters of this. Speaking for myself, momentarily may forget our divinity and start to worry or doubt or become angry. Our fetters of set come out. And we can, when we are on the path, we open up to our cosmic mind and allow Jehuti to bring us back. And so that's what we're honoring with this program, is when this happens to us, not just when it happened to Sekhmet. So, see if I close the page, if that helps. Uja, yes. I'm not really sure, Empress, what's going on. I need to find out why it's happening, because it only happens when I do this. The rest of the time it's fine. So there's something weird going on. Thank you for letting me know. I'm really sorry. I might have to switch to a different platform than YouTube for doing this. Thank you for being here anyway. What do I believe in? I am a follower of the Natarian traditions of ancient Kemet. I believe in the cosmic forces of nature that make up everything in life, everything in nature. And I believe these forces live within us. And we can tune into them, we can invoke them, we can emulate them, we can become like them, and we can learn to master the forces of nature on our journey to enlightenment. And if you want more information on this, I would suggest you go to EgyptianYoga.com, which is the website of my spiritual teachers, and you can study them. I am just here presenting musical offerings and wisdom teachings. I'm not a teacher of this philosophy. This is part of my spiritual practice that I've been called to share with you. Okay. This practice, this tradition is the source of all modern religions. They're all adaptations or variations of this practice. So it's a very ancient practice. Okay. Get on with the. My mind is distracted by the situation with YouTube, so I'm going to. So when we say dua or hold our hands like this, we're giving adorations or gratitude. And when we say nupu, we're saying I am that. So this next offering is acknowledging the cosmic mind, the divine intellect of Lord Jehuti, and how we're acknowledging this, we're admiring this, we're adoring this, we're invoking this, we're connecting to this cosmic force of the cosmic mind. And that means that we're not going to be focused on our ego mind, which rests in our brain, and we're opening up to our infinite mind, and we're allowing that to be filled with the cosmic mind duty. And then once we do that, once we're able to do that, then we tune into that force within us, and then we acknowledge that we are that cosmic force. So first I say Dua Jehuti, and then Nupu Jehuti. Dua Jehuti, Dua Jehuti, Dua Jehuti, Dua Jehuti, Dua 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 Jehuti, Dua 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 Jehuti, 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 hoochie hoochie, the hoochie hoochie, the poo the poo the poo the poo the hoochie, the poo the poo the hoochie, the hoochie, the hoochie hoochie, hoochie hoochie, hoochie hoochie, do I do I do I do I hoochie, do I do I do I do I hoochie, hoochie hoochie, hoochie hoochie, hoochie hoochie. The poochie hoochie, the poo, the poo, the poo, the poochie hoochie, the poo, the poo, the poo, the poochie hoochie. I'm thinking of things I can do to make the signal better. I'm gonna try this. I get this. Yes. One more to resolve the situation. Okay. Let's go to one of the names here from not from my works. This is a website. So soothing. Those chants are well, this is just a different tradition than the one you practice. There's only one deity, one divinity, by many names. Nebuchadnezzar, other traditions have other names. And in Nebuchadnezzar and creation, there's many forces of nature. There's a force of magnetism, there's the force of electricity, there's the force of gravity, there's the force that keeps the cells together. Then there's the force of truth. There's a cosmic force of beauty. There's a cosmic force of intelligence. There's a cosmic force of opening the ways. There's a cosmic force of egoism. There's a cosmic force of anything you can think of. There's a cosmic force. And in this tradition, each cosmic force is represented by a god or goddess. There's God that you call God with a capital G. And then there's different rays of creation. Like you have the sun and then you have the individual rays. And each ray can be considered as one with the divinity, one with Nebuchadnezzar, one with the one true God. So you can honor each individual ray or individual force of nature, or you can honor all of them at once. It's your choice. But if this isn't for you, then you should just leave. But we're not going to stop being who we are just because you practice a tradition that was born out of this tradition. So you need to just leave. You will from now on be ignored if you're just going to be spewing negativity and spewing comments about your tradition just because you don't agree with this tradition. So I come in peace. This is a mini festival, and you're welcome to stay and learn, and that's your choice. Attempt. So this is a reading from a book called The Pillar of Ra, and it's about this festival, the festival of when Jehuti brings Sekhmet back. There's other holy days in the calendar where we honor the parables of Jehuti. We honor the time when Heteru left Kemet. There's different phases of this. So today we're honoring the time when she's brought back. So there was a great procession, and with each stop, there was additional boats. They would stop at the different temples on the different dates, and at each stop, more people would get on the boat. And the day before the new moon was known as the Festival of Shu and Jehuti Bring Back the Ojet Eye. This is a reference to the legend of the distant goddess. As discussed earlier, in this legend, Heteru, as the Eye of Ra, was led back to Kemet to be reunited with her father. The placement of this festival just one day before the procession of Heteru reaches Edfu is not coincidental. Rather, this sets the stage for the events that follow. Okay, on the morning of the new moon, the priesthood of Edfu with the sacred statue of Hu sailed down the Nile to meet Heteru and her flotilla. Upon their greeting, an oracle was performed to decide the fate of the journey. The couple continued on, arriving at the banks of the river outside of the temple of Edfu exactly 8 hours after sunrise. Their two statues were brought to a shrine where the opening of the mouth ceremony was performed. This was followed by the harvest rituals of the driving of the cows and the offering of the fruits of the fields. From there, the procession retired to the temple where the sacred union between Heteru and Heru was enacted. This probably took place in the Mamisi, the birthhouse of the temple. During the evening, the entire community surrounding the temple was in jubilee. There was dancing, drinking, and sensual festivities occurred throughout the night. All right, so this just kind of gives you a description of what was going on during this time when they're celebrating the time when Jehuti brings back Sekhmet. And it goes on with different events and offerings. I just wanted to bring that out. Another reading. Well, we'll save this for another time. Okay, so let's move on with some more music about Sekhmet. This whole journey is about waking up. It's about the journey of enlightenment and letting go of attachments and controlling our egoism. So I invite you to continue to journey with us. All right. So this is another chant from the Temple of Shaitan Nature. Our opening of the daily chants. And the translation is Adorations to Heteru, the Great Goddess. And then I also have a second line or second verse about Sekina, referring to the life force energy. Let's see if I can find his gloss. I can't see if I find it. Okay, well, anyway, here we go. You are Heteru, Netrika. You are Heteru, Netrika. You are Heteru, Netrika. Do a head turn every time. Do a head turn every time. Do a head turn second mind. Do a head turn every time. Do a head turn second mind. Do a head turn every time. Do a head turn second mind. Do a head turn every time. Do a head turn second mind. I have this opening prayer also from the Waseki Arts Temple, which is a temple for Sekhmet. It's a healing arts, inner healing. Okay, and I like to offer this chant before I do my energy work, my healing work. Ya Sekhmet, Ya Sekhmet, Ya Sekhmet, Ya Sekhmet. Oh, Sekhmet, mightier than that baby. Great one of fury, come forth to me. Shine your light on me. Shine your light within me. Light where there is darkness. Oh, Sekhmet. She who travels in lightning, remove my fear. Give me courage, the courage to stand up and speak with righteousness and truth through day and every day. May it be so to us. Do a second. All right, this is a hangout that came through to me when I was in Kemet in 2022. Oh, excuse me, 2020. I was actually there when COVID, or it was just coronavirus, when coronavirus hit. And I remember wondering if I was going to be able to leave and wondering would I be able to come back. And, you know, they weren't freaking out about it in Kemet like they were in America right at the beginning. It was really interesting. So it came to me when I was standing before one of the stelae or iconography, and I'm pretty sure I couldn't get the confirmation, but the chant came through. One side it was Sekhmet, and the other side it was Net, and they were sending energy to the aspirant or initiate or royal personality between them. You know, they were doing the Dua posture, and you could see the little energy coming through their hands. You have the energy coming through the hands like that. So it's Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net. In Dead and Nani. So in Dead is protection, and Nini is the protective energy that's coming through the hands. Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua segment, do a segment, do a do a segment, do a home and dead, and I need 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 do a segment, do a 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 home and dead, and I need 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 do a segment, 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 do a yes. So when Sekhmet was in her state of spiritual amnesia, just blood dripping from her mouth, just looking for initiates to devour. You know, that's I relate to that when I get in a mode of fetterness, when I forget my divinity or get too attached to the outcome. I have to snap myself out of it. And these are tools that I use. I'm Sekhmet. Because Sekhmet does have a role. Like this, Sekhmet plays this role in this myth. Sekhmet is not always in this state of bloodthirsty. She is, she's the goddess of her own merit. In this myth, she plays the role of the cosmic force that does that. And yeah, that's all I say about that right now. Right, so this is the second Kemetic chant that came through for me. For Aset and Sekhmet. I'm going to play on this harp I got in Edfu at the temple, outside the temple. And the translation is adorations to Goddess Sekhmet, power and life force energy, adorations to Goddess Aset, Lady of wisdom and healing words of power, do for this child life, vitality, and health. So even though this servant is to the honor of the time when Jehuti helped Sekhmet remember her divinity and return to her place as head to on her throne, it's also for us, chance for us to, for self-healing and to strengthen us so that when we're facing egoism, we can control Sekhmet response and not like I was getting ready to do with the Israelite brother, who I'm sure this practice is very offensive to him. So I was able to stay calm. Do a second. Do a second. Uncle Justin. Do a second. Do a second. Uncle Justin. Do a second. Do a second. kujasene. Oh, kujasene. Oh, kujasene. Oh, kujasene. Kujasene. Adorations to Goddess Sekhmet. Power of the Life Force Energy. Adorations to Goddess Sekhmet. Adorations to Goddess Sekhmet. Power of the Life Force Energy. Adorations to Goddess Aset. Lady of Wisdom. Healing Works of Power. Do for this child. Life, vitality, and health. Yes. There's a lot going on around here. Okay, an original chant for Sekhmet. This one, oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here and that you appreciate the music. I haven't played this one on the harp. I'm just going to play the drum. That was a reggae song. I usually play it on the keyboard. I don't do it for tuning in. I apologize for the wacky Wi-Fi connection. I hope you can get some of the positive vibrations and medicine from this broadcast. A little bit of a you are Sekhmet, 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 you are Sekhmet. In every moment be enlightened. In every encounter see the true essence. In every situation rise above it. In every adversity see the gift of it all. You are Sekhmet, you are Sekhmet, you are Sekhmet, you are Sekhmet. Look who's Sekhmet, look who's Sekhmet, look who's Sekhmet, look who's Sekhmet. In every moment be enlightened. In every encounter see the true essence. In every situation rise above it. Every adversity see the gift of it all. Look who's Sekhmet, 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 look who's Sekhmet. You are Sekhmet, look who's Sekhmet, you are Sekhmet, look who's Sekhmet, you are Sekhmet, look who's Sekhmet, you are Sekhmet, look who's every situation, rise above it. In every adversity, see the gift of it. Do a second, do a second, do a second, do a second. Look who's second, look who's second, look who's second, look who's second. Yes, so if you're just tuning in, this is today's presentation of Ancient African Adorations. We're honoring the time when Judith brought Sekhmet back to Kemet, back from her time of spiritual amnesia when she lost her divinity and became a stone cold, bloodthirsty killer of the righteous and unrighteous, rather than just the job she was given by her dad, Ra, to eliminate the unrighteous. And so this is being interpreted as when we are in moments of spiritual amnesia and we use the wisdom teachings of Judith, or we open up our mind to the divine intelligence of Judith, we're able to escape our imprisonment by our egos. We're able to remove the bandages from our mouth, representing the fetters of Set, and restoring our consciousness and our divinity. So that's how this holiday is being interpreted here at the Hasmaji Temple of Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds. Right. I'm still looking for ways to improve the Wi-Fi connection for the people on YouTube. All right, so now we're going to move into some of the wisdom teachings from Shachal Neter. Yes, a lot of people do need energy. We need the energy of Sekhmet to be able to fight off egoism and negativity in our environment, and to have the power to do that within ourselves. Yes, we all need this energy. We definitely are all going through this process. All right, so let's have a little bit about Sekhmet and technique from the teachings of Sema Institute and Seva Ma, Dr. Wanda Ashby. Want more information on these wisdom teachings? Visit EgyptianYoga.com, and you can sign up to study at Kemet University, where you'll have direct interaction with the spiritual preceptors, and they'll share all their wisdom and knowledge with you. And more importantly, they will guide you on your own journey of enlightenment. They will take you through it. Take it from me. Okay, so let's see. We have the Tree of Life, page 94. And we got a little bit of a late start due to technical difficulty, so we probably will be going past 9 a.m. Tree of Life, page 94. And I'm so grateful that you're being able to be patient with these technical difficulties. Page 94. So this is the Tree of Life book by Dr. Wanda Ashby. All right. Of course, if you are fortunate, you have reached a certain level of mastery. It attracts the goddess herself too. And you harness those powers, and then you can do God's work, the kind of work that the goddess does. For example, if you want to destroy evil, then you appreciate the divinity that has the power to do that. The cosmic force that has the power to do that. And this cosmic force has the power to do that with fire and physical fierce energies is the feline, the leonine energy. Of course, that is Goddess Sekhmet, an aspect of Hatshepsut, who is an aspect of Nut and Net and Mehert. If you want to use wisdom to overcome the adversity, then that is the Goddess Aset. Nevertheless, all are aspects of the ultimate goddess forms, and thus they lead and aspire to the ultimate discovery as well as victory over the lower forces, the force of egoism and degraded mind, anger, hatred, greed, jealousy, envy, etc., which constantly thwart a soul's attempts to attain spiritual enlightenment. Are you beginning to understand how this process works? He goes on to say, and once you have gathered those forces after your ritual, after your study, reflection, meditations, your offering, your uttering of the chants, etc., then you might unleash that power towards your objective. Okay. So what he described earlier as the forces of egoism and just created mind, in my life, I call that spiritual amnesia because you just forget all of these teachings. And when I was studying Buddhism, they said the quickest way to snap out of that lower level is just to pick up a book of wisdom teachings and start reading it. And that's so true, so true. All right, and then page 263, something about the lioness. Just push buttons and it comes up. All right, so here on this page, they have lots of beautiful images of Sekhmet. So I wish I could share with you. I can have screen share. But you can find images. You could just look up Sekhmet and look at the images while I'm going through this reading. That is I don't know what it's doing right now. APEP. Oh, I know what I was going to say earlier to the reading before. It's not the type of practice where you say your prayers one day or one day a week and you're good for the week or you're good for your whole life. We are constantly bombarded by APEP and we are constantly challenged by set, and we are constantly battling our egoism within and in our environment. And the minute you think you're done, you're going to get challenged again. So it's not like, it's not an easy practice, but it's very efficient and thorough. Let's see if you'll let me just scroll. Okay, thank you. What you were doing earlier. An important element of the goddess. Oops. There it goes. Page 263. 263. Like right now, I'm battling forces of APEP, which are trying to discourage this reading. Okay. So. An important element of the god is the feline aspect. The most prominent is the leonine concept, which is the foundation of the Great Sphinx. In nature, it has to have an inimical relationship with serpents. In ancient Kemetic mythology, the serpent of darkness is seen as the embodiment of ignorance and evil, which threatens the movement of the boat of God, which prevents the spiritual aspirant from attaining enlightenment. Therefore, the goddess in the form of a cat, Bast, and a lioness, Tefnut Sekhmet Heteru, is seen as the warrior and champion of the gods, as well as the aspirant. She is the one who paves the way for spiritual evolution by destroying the evil of ignorance and sinfulness in the human heart. Henukuti, being also the form of the Hu, the Great Sphinx, makes use of the leonine aspect and should therefore be considered as a combination of the female element supporting, empowering, and completing male essence. Furthermore, the leonine power is the strength of Ra, the Pharaoh. And we move on to page 1 for information. Again, from the Tree of Life. By Dr. Wanda Ashley, you know him as Saved by Rock. Just another day on the computer. Its own quirks and challenges. Just lesson in patience and not being attached to the outcome. I guess it's a head on my wall. My actions are divinely inspired. The results and outcomes are not up to me. The results are not my responsibility. I simply must do my very best. I remind myself of this every day, like throughout the day, because I get attached to the outcome. I get to the lower half of this page. Close. I just don't know why it's doing this. Okay. All right. You know what? I'm just going to skip that one because it's quiet. And so there is a ceremony for opening the mouth Jehuti uses. And I just made a note that in Sekhmet's case, he opened her mouth with 4 parables. He didn't use the shapesh, the tool that is symbolized by the Big Dipper, the Great Bear. He used parables. So this is an example on how we can just use our mind or reading the teachings from ourselves back to the consciousness. So again, this is another emphasis or example of using our intellect to overcome our amnesia. Now the thing about that is, like, I have a whole list of things to do when I have spiritual amnesia. And it takes me a long time to remember that I have the tools. I'm on the point where I remember that. It takes less time than it used to. So that's how you know you're making progress. All right. I'm going to move to page 94. I tell you, there was no problems with this until I started the podcast. Must just be the internet connection. Okay. So here is a description of the event we're on the road today. They don't come right out in a segment, but you'll know that we're talking about segment. The Eye of Ra and the Eye of Haru. This is from page 24, the introduction of the Purdah Haru. There are several ancient Egyptian myths relating to the eye. One tells that the eye, the individual soul, left Ra, the divine self, and went into creation and was lost. Ra sent Jehuti wisdom to find the eye and bring it back. It was through the magic, the wisdom teachings of the god Jehuti that the eye realized who it was and agreed to return to Ra. Upon its return, however, it found that Ra had replaced it with another. In order to pacify it, Ra placed it on his brow in the form of the Uraeus serpent that could rule the world. One variation to this story holds that the eye of Ra, the eye left Ra and went to Nubia in the form of a lioness, had to do with her aspect as destroyer of evil and unrighteousness of Sekhmet. When Ra heard this, he sent the Nubian god Ari Nefer, a form of Shu and Jehuti, to bring the eye back. They took the form of baboons, symbol of wisdom, and soon found the eye near the mountain of the sunrise, where Asar was born. The eye refused to leave because it had learned to enjoy its new existence. It was destroying those who had committed sins, plotted against Ra while on earth. Djibouti worked his magic on the eye and brought it back to Ra. Another variation of this story holds that Ra sent Shu and Tefnut in search of the eye. The eye resisted and in shed tears. And from the tears grew men. This is a clever play on words because the word for tears, remtu, that fell from the eye, Ra, and the word for men, ret or retu, have similar sounds in ancient Kemet language. This play on words sustains the idea that human beings came forth figuratively, speaking out of the sorrow of God as he saw souls leaving him and becoming human beings, i.e. forgetting their true nature. Now that's interesting because earlier, yes, the eye watch it. Earlier, somebody asked when I said Om Asar Om, was I saying sorrow? And they said no, I was saying Asar Om. And here it takes us back to the song. This is very interesting. Okay, let's see. Will this scroll cooperate? Implication that the tears, physical substance of Ra, his rapture, feeling, passion became vessels for the souls to exist in the embodied state, i.e. as human beings. They say that human beings are light beings trapped in watery encasements. Remember, water is connected to our emotions, simple emotions. All right. So far it's cooperating. Let's see if we'll go back to the top of the page. All right, I'm not going to read this whole page, although it's very relevant to what we're discussing today. So I invite you to get your own copy of the Persian Peru by Seba Ma. Well, it's his edition. These are his passages that he selected to be in this version. Oh, that's a good observance. Well, you know, it's I can't say that it coincides with the year because the eclipses are different days. And the earlier passage I read, it was talking about how this doesn't occur after a new moon. So that's very good of you to bring up the eclipse and the full moon. We have this festivity and full moon. And Djibouti and Azar are also considered to be representatives of the full moon. So so as I was saying, the Persian Peru is a book of prayers, spells, teachings, guidance. There are words to be spoken when a body is dying, when someone is very ill, or you could read it after funeral, you read it after memorial, and it should be recited by the living as well, because while we're living on earth, we're in a state of spiritual death, and these passages help you remember your divinity and help you on your spiritual journey. Okay, so I'm about to have a technical challenge I need to fix, so I need a 5-second break. Phone's about to die. I need to be attached to the charger. Oh. Let's see if this will work. 5-minute break. Such high-tech technology. I have to use tape. I'm using the microphones. I just 1 minute here while I tape my phone to the charger. Having lots of technology challenges today. If you're a follower of the stars, you probably know today Mercury is retrograde. In our system, that refers to Jupiter. So even the challenges are in alignment. Okay. Okay. Okay, that should last a little while. Do morning chores. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a good day too, and you can watch the replay on YouTube if you want to see the rest, because we haven't even gotten to the good part. We're almost to the good part. Where's the good part? All right. Next one. I think we already did that one. Yes. All right. And then in the Glorious Light Meditation book, which is the oldest codified meditation practice that Sewa Ma uncovered or discovered in his research. I don't have my book. I know the chant. Don't have the book to read the direct translation or meaning. So I'm going to have to paraphrase. You know how it is when you lend a book to someone and then you forget who you lent it to and you don't know when you're going to get it back. I think it's in this one. Anyway, the words are Nuk Heka, Nuk Ra'aku, Nuk Bara, Nuk Hekau. And it says, I am the sacred power, words of sacred power. I am the light of Ra. I am the soul of Ra. The words of sacred power. So I'm just going, sacred power of Ra. So I'm just going to offer that chant for a few moments. I'm going to keep on with the teachings. Yeah, I get so frustrated anymore. I just nervously giggle. Nuk Hekau, Nuk Ra'aku, Nuk Bara, Nuk Hekau. 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 Right, are we getting close? Right now, through chapter 4, verse 19, page 81. So this is the scripture, verse 19, from the Pert and Herod, chapter 4. It is the right eye of Ra, and its date. Let's do this right, this chapter, verse, starting at number 18. Then Jehudi took possession with his own fingers himself, and in so doing lifted my hair at the time of the storms. Who is this person that is being spoken about? It is the right eye of Ra in its state of rampage after it was sent by him. Behold, Jehudi raises the hair as he brings to him the eye full of life, vitality, and health, without any deficiency or impurity to the Lord. Another way to understand this is the eye being sick, since it was in the face crying, was raised up by Jehudi. As concerns spit, I spit. It is my seeing Ra born as yesterday. As concerns the hinder part of Goddess Mahert, she is his vitality, and she is my vitality also, binding, strengthening, and surrounding me. And then we go to the gloss, page 189. It refers to the unveiling of the third eye, the spiritual center between the eyebrows, related to the serpent power of Kundalini Yoga. Mental agitation is likened to a storm, when the trials, tribulations, desires, frustrations, as well as the lower aspects of personality, anger, hatred, greed, lust, envy, jealousy, elation, passion, etc., fetters, upset, affect the mind and becomes clouded with thoughts which distract a human being from seeing truth. This state is called ignorance. Jehudi is the symbol of firm intellect. Taking hold of the testicles means the mind attaining firm control over the lower nature. That's referring to the passage when Set had tried to implicate Heru. That's another part of the myth. Here's the one for verse 19. This reference to the eye relates to the myth commonly known as the destructive of evil men and women. It is a version of the myth of Heteru and Jehudi. Ra sent his eye to burn up the unrighteous, but it got lost, and Ra made a new one to replace it. When it finally returned, it was enraged. Jehudi calmed it. This is what we read earlier. Okay. Right to that. And page 108. Oh, Egyptian yoga. Sorry, wrong book. Okay. All right. It's another wonderful reference, Egyptian Yoga by Dr. Wanda Ashby. This is a great book to begin your journey of Chaitanya Nature. Egyptian Yoga Volume 1. This is my first introduction to these wisdom teachings. A friend of mine lent me her book, and I kept it for a whole year. And I got through chapter 1 by the end of the year. And I said, I need to get my own book. So I finally gave it back to her, and the rest is history. Chapter 1, page 108. All right. So these are some Hekau Oh, here we go. This is interesting. This is a page on using words of power. It is important to understand that every time either prayer or hekau is uttered, one is moving closer to one's goal. In fact, every single time one even thinks about the divine, it has the equivalent psychological effect of a visit to temple. A deep meditation might be equal to a visit to a temple or religious pilgrimage center. Let's see. Hekau mantras may be safely used by anyone to help steady the mind and help train it to focus on the wisdom, which will lead to mental transformation. Uh-oh, it's not charging. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So here are two chants that I like. I really enjoy. They're from the Book of Coming Forth by Jane. And the translation of the first one is, I have gained power in the water as I conquered Set, greed, lust, ignorance. The second one is, I know my heart, I have gained power over my heart. Second I move mountains. Second I move mountains. Second I move mountains. Second I move mountains. Next I am I second I am Hatiyah. Next I am second I am Hatiyah. Next I am second I am Hatiyah. Next I am second I am Hatiyah. Second I am move mountains. 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 Next time I am next time I am second I am Hatiyah. Next I am second I am Hatiyah. Next I am second I am Hatiyah. Next I am second I am Hatiyah. Controlling the Emotions, page 178, Kemetic Proverbs. All right, there's several here. Let's just pick a few. If you want to have perfect conduct, to be free from evil, then above all, guard against the vice of greed. Greed is a grievous sickness that has no cure. There is no treatment for it. It embroils fathers, mothers, and the brothers of the mother. It parts the wife from her husband. Greed is the compound of all the evils, a bundle of all hateful things. That person endures whose rule is rightness, who walks a straight line, for that person will leave a legacy by such behavior. On the other hand, the greedy has no tomb. When emotions are society's objectives, tyranny will govern regardless of the ruling class. Well, that certainly sounds like life on earth. They who abandon the body senses know themselves to be light and life. The joy from knowledge allows room only for the good. In them righteousness and bliss have their firm seat. Unrighteousness and sorrow will flee away to them who give it room. Let's do a few more. Associate not with a passionate man, nor approach him in conversations. Leap not to cling to such a one, that it
that the terror carry you not away. Indulge thyself not in the passion of anger. It is whetting a sword to wound thine own breast or murder thy friend. Feelings are good servants, but poor masters. There are two roads traveled by humankind, those who seek to live ma'at and those who seek to satisfy their animal passions. So those are all proverbs describing what we're honoring today when Jehuti, the cosmic mind, divine intellect, was able to bring Sekhmet back to her divinity. And the same thing happens to us in our daily lives. Unless you're an enlightened master. I suppose even sages have moments of anger and frustration. However, they don't last long. They're just like right away, they come out of it. I remember Sebajai saying we're allowed a moment, to, like for instance, in Aset's case, when she found her son Haru had been killed, she screamed out in wailing and anguish. Her cry was so strong that it stopped the boat of Ra. And then, everything came back to center. But we do have a moment to express our feelings, to let it out. Because if we keep it inside of us, it can lead to illness. But once we let it out, the next action needs to be a response, not a reaction. We need to snap back to our divinity. And teachings like this and music like this is what helps me. Okay. Egyptian magic. Remember how I talked earlier about Jehuti's magic? So that would be this book, page 208, 209. Or like the Pert of Meru is a book of spells, because like in the English language we're spelling all the time with our words. We want our words to be like lotus blossoms, or like Anpu. It has the power to open the way with our words. We don't want our words to cause more problems. 208. Okay, I'm looking for magic. Okay, so here is a proverb that describes the definition of magic. Quote, and I believe these are from the Kabbalion, not from, these are quotes from the Kabbalion, meaning they're quotes from Jehuti. To change your mood or mental state, change your vibration. And the other one, to destroy an undesirable rate of mental vibration, concentrate on the opposite vibration to the one to be suppressed. So it is appropriate here to discuss the essence of Egyptian magic in a way which may help us to understand the purpose of rituals, hekau, and mind control meditation from a spiritual perspective. The two previous quotes from the Kabbalion are considered to be the basis of the art of mental transformation, see spiritual alchemy. They express in simple terms the essential process by which the mind may be cleansed, washed of undesirable elements, and thereby purified in order to attain enlightenment. So it goes on to talk about different ways you can change the vibration. You could fast, you could drink a glass of water, you could go outside, you could chant, you could sing, you could pick up a book of scriptures. If you're like me, you pick up your music instrument, you pick up your sound healing tools. If you change your vibration, then you will change your mental state. And if you change your mental state, you will change your environment and your life. And that's basically what this holiday is about. Jehuti bringing Sekhmet back from her state of ignorance, ripping off the bandages of her mouth, just removing the fetters from her consciousness. Oh, the quote's already here. Okay, we're almost to the end. Thank you for being here. We had a little bit of delay due to the difficulties at the beginning, so even though we're right on time. Okay, so now we're going to go to Pert and Meru, Volume 3. Oh! First, my shoulder's going to knock over the recording device. This is great. All right, just a few more minutes.
here we have the Purdon Peru, where he has all the scriptures, and then he breaks them down into individual books. And this one, volume 3, is the Book of Breathings by Sagamon. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, hieroglyph translations using the trilinear method, understanding the ancient Egyptian mystic path to enlightenment through direct readings of the sacred signs and symbols with the trilinear deciphering method. So as on the cover, you can see he's got the metaneter, the glyphs, and then he's got the phonetic pronunciation. He's got the actual translation, and then his interpretation of the translation. So we're very grateful to Sagamon for these wonderful books. I was getting them as soon as they came out, and I have so many I haven't read them, so I'm taking a break so that I can absorb the ones that I already have and the classes that I've been taking. I will be getting back to my studies. So this is from the chapter on, and we talked about verse 19 earlier. This is the chapter on scattering the hair, and find Aset is found in there. So Aset is divine intuition, first eye. Heteru is also considered our first eye when she's put on the Uraeus, or the left eye, the right eye. There's so many versions of the story. So I'm going to read the whole chapter in English, and then I'm going to offer just verses E, F, and G. So also Aset and Heteru are considered to be one and the same in some traditions. And then, of course, Heteru is segment. The Osiris aspirant, the individual soul, is protected because Aset is found by him/her through the process of the aspirant doing the work of separating, that is, discerning between the duality between either clarity and distorted vision, causing confusion and sufferings due to the hair that is over the forehead. Like when you say your hair is over the forehead, that means your first eye is blocked and you don't have your inner sight. That's what that means. That is distorting, blocking clear vision of the third eye, the intuitional vision. By cleaving, parting the hair, spreading it apart away from the region where it was covering my third eye, I have been able to realize what is true versus what is untrue. That Goddess Aset, my capacity to have clear intuitional understanding about the nature of self and creation, as well as clear spiritual vision that resurrects my individual soul, was in there, in my forehead all along, rising up from the place where she was subsumed by the blockage from ignorance, owing to the action of wiping away the impurities, the blockages of dirt and disease from excrement that were there. Now I find that Aset, as my third eye, is within my forehead as the cobra, goddess of the north, who is the mistress, the fire-spitting cobra, the eye of Ra, the creator spirit, that third eye, Hathor, or Heteru, segment, that destroys, burns away all enemies of the soul in the form of iniquity of the heart, ignorance, egoistic desires, obstacles to higher vision, and realizing my identity with Ra, the spirit. Oh, wow. All of that is going to be contained, the last 3 verses. Guys, I set my capacity to have clear. Verse E, F, and G are going to be contained in this. And this is the part where I don't know the melody in advance and just have the lyrics. Same thing with the offering to Sekhmet. I just have the lyrics. I don't have the melody. This thing is still charging. It looks like it is. I see too many typos to continue.
Let me fix them before I continue, please. One typo I can manage, but two, it's not going to work. Okay. That autocorrect, you know. Here's the top and this. Yeah, they changed it from shemmy to shiny. Wait a minute. It's not shiny. Edit post. Okay. Let me edit in 5 seconds or less. Yay! It's working. Okay. So where was the other stage? Shiny. Okay. Phew. Okay. And shiny, not shiny. Okay. Oops. Oh! Are you still there? Wow, this is crazy. I'm so sorry that this keeps falling. Okay, and shiny. C M Nebbit, not next. There is an X. Yep. It's funny because I went through this like 2 or 3 times. And it's still auto-corrected. 200. Okay, let's start again. I'm not gonna save it yet. Not very much light here today. I said to him, I am Shanice and I watching. Now that you move it, I read our pool. I said you ash your time a high inside it. Shanice and I watching. Now that you move it to I read our pool. I sat to where the time is a high inside it. Shanice and I watching. Now that you look into I read my I said to where the time is a high inside it. Shanice and I watching. Now that you look into I read my pool. Uncle Johnson, Uncle Johnson, Uncle Johnson, Uncle Johnson,
Masaku Hashatayane. My heart inside it. Shanice and my waji. Never double get you. This is actually very relevant. Oh, okay, I already read this. Okay. All right. So we're going to have our closing hekau. Just coming through, just offering adorations to Sekhmet and Jehuti. Let me just try this one. I didn't put the microphone. Do a Jehuti, do a Sekhmet. 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 Look on the highs. Look on the highs. Never do a duty, do a segment, do a head to do it for those of you who stayed on this entire time, and to those of you on YouTube who tried to stay on this whole broadcast. I understand that the replays are filled with static. When I listen to them, they're not filled with static, so I don't know what the problem is. I'm going to reach out to StreamYard, and if we can't figure it out, I'll have to move to another platform, which I don't really want to do. Anyway, thank you for being here for the May 14th edition of Ancient African Adorations, where we are honoring the time when Jehuti brought Sekhmet back to her divinity. And we had some offerings to Jehuti and Sekhmet and some wisdom teachings. And these are chants that we can use when we have our moments of spiritual amnesia. Or when somebody around us is like freaking out, we can just start chanting. We chant silently. We can just send them Hadesh and Mimi, protection and purification, energy healing. You can refer them to EgyptianYoga.com. You can say, hey, you know, my sister, I read the chant. She's got these cool videos. You should subscribe to her videos. There's lots of tools that we can use when we have our Sekhmet moments. And if you are interested in obtaining your own copy of the Nigerian calendar, where'd you go? From Temple of Amun, you can see the date. The year on the calendar is the year 2022, and it also says 38,788. This is the year 38,788 in the Nigerian practice. It's not 4,000 years or 6,000 years. It's not 2,000 years. It's not 700 years. It's 38,788 years that this tradition has been followed. These Nigerian holy days are way older than 700 years or 6,000 years, like the gentleman who was accusing me of practicing witchcraft, which I don't really have a problem with. It's just that some people have a negative connotation with that word, and I do not. So if you want to get your own calendar, it's at templeofamun.com. I also mentioned the calendar put out by the Earth Center, which follows the traditional, each month has 3 strengths, or what you call weeks of 10 days long. And then they also have the month of Nut, which is 5 days. The Nigerian calendar also observes those dates when the Metrics were born. It's 7 days in July, which coincides with the rising of Sirius. And I'm not exactly sure about this one. It occurs in September. Sept is another name for Sirius. So I know this calendar is aligned with Sirius. So there's a really good reason I just haven't learned it yet. But I will. If you want more information on the wisdom teachings, go to EgyptianYoga.com. Or if you want more information on my music, Tachia.com, or wellness practices and services, lightningbonus.com. I'm putting together a page for the Temple of Aset. The Asmakaji Temple of Divine Light, Healing, and Sweet Sounds. And the next Ancient African Adorations is next Saturday, on the 21st at 7:30 a.m. Central, the day of Jehuti. And if you're interested in my music, you can tune in on May 17th for Mid-Spring Reggae Music Experience. It's going to be live streamed and live and direct. You can purchase your ticket or access to the live stream at tachia.com/mid-spring-reggae. Again, if you want to read the notes that go along with this broadcast, you can find those at tachia.com/Jehuti-brings-back-Tefnut-segment. I did not mean for the page to be long. And so there you have it. That's what I have for you today. Do over here today. And I also have the full moon transition coming up tomorrow evening at 11 p.m. Central as a full moon and eclipse at 11:14. It starts. So we'll be tuning in at 11 p.m. So those are the broadcasts from Asamachi Temple and like the World Center. Please remember to like, follow, share, subscribe, and sign to be notified. Do what I met, do what you do, and with all of you. Your presence is a gift to me.